Hello and welcome to the channel. In part 2, we made it to the river. Well, sort of. One of our 4 bikes is already dead and loaded on our support vehicle. The other problem being that most of our bikes don't have working headlights, which means that we need to get back to Potensi before nightfall. So the riders will be myself, the Goose and Christo on the Blaster, Scruffy KTM and Raptor respectively. And the consensus among the gang is that we need to get back to Potensi as fast as we can and hopefully before the sun sets. Now, as I've mentioned before, I'm not really a quad guy, but I'm really taking a liking to the little Blaster, gaining confidence riding it over rough terrain. Now, confidence isn't always a good thing. It usually leads to some big falls. Guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. I mentioned briefly in part 2 the unique challenge of riding a quad, having to worry about 2 sets of tracks at once. Now, it isn't rocket science, but there are definitely some things to keep in mind and some things to avoid at all costs. One of which is straddling any obstacles in the road, such as cracks. Now, a crack seems innocent enough, but once you're wide-legged over the thing and it starts to open up wider than your wheelbase, you're in for a treat, like I'm about to demonstrate. It's dumb luck that I didn't face plant in the road right there. I've been assigned to the one GoPro that still has some battery life left, so unfortunately the rest of the journey is going to be from one perspective only. Christo and the Goose have opened up a nice lead ahead of me, so I'm trying to make up time and close the gap so that we can all ride together. At least that's the official story. My actual motivations is to prove to everybody that this Blaster is more than what they give it credit for. And with that sentiment, Christo's dust starts appearing on the horizon, and I've got him in my sight. Now, people talk about the red mist descending when people race each other. And let me tell you, that is a very, very real concept. I'm seeing Christo in front of me and I want to do anything in my power just to get past him, even if it means being a little bit reckless. Now, having passed the Raptor, it's not good enough. The Goose is still up ahead on the Scruffy KTM, so I'm pushing a little bit harder to try and get past her as well. This road we're on is extremely deceptive. It can lull you into a false sense of security. There are many sections where you can get into a really nice rhythm and get nice high speed going, but then periodically you get these sections that are just absolute disasters. Washaways and ruts, which means you're always concentrating, always looking up ahead, with your foot on the brakes, ready to slow down if you need to. I'm just going to hover slightly behind Goose for a little while, make sure that she's aware that I'm there and stays in her lane, and then I'll pin it and get past her as fast as possible. And in true red mist fashion, now that everybody's behind me, it's still not good enough. Now I need to open up my lead. Now there's nothing in front of me. Now it's limitless. Now we can really let the little beast loose. what to climb. And then I remember it's that section of road with those very big loose rocks all over. That very steep climb with a compound angle that slants to the left as you go up. This is going to be fun. Especially for our 2x4 Isuzu, which is loaded to the brim with bike, refreshments and dry accessories. I decided to make this our regathering stop. Partly because the group is spaced so far apart now. But the main reason is I'm completely knackered. Ja, ek ry lekker hoor.
Jy so dude, like soos jy was soos nêrens. En toe kom jy net weer. Maar jy ook ry my naar hoor.
Is it? Good. Vibrations giving me a case of white finger. Once everybody's caught up and regrouped, we decide to keep going. The sun's going down. We don't have much time left. The goose tries with all her might, but she's just not cut out for this sort of kicking. Christy decides to lend a hand, but Scruffy KTM is having none of it. There's a one-way ratchet gear that's also on its way out. Now, the wide-angle lens doesn't do this incline justice. It is extremely steep up here. Getting off the line is very difficult. Go, 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 go! Go, go! The goose struggling with the gearbox. Gas it! Because of the steep incline, we rearranged the convoy so that the support vehicle is in the middle. And with the diff lock engaged, Shawnee takes the 2x4 Isuzu up this treacherous hill. Not even so much as a bit of wheel spin or bogging down. Isuzu makes light work of this section. Well done, Shawnee. At the next gate, Goose needs my help again, using her hand to get it into neutral first. The closer we get to Mount Ingwe, the better condition the road becomes, making it more suitable for some high-speed riding. But this corner looks especially familiar.
Okay.
A little bird decides to join our convoy for a while, but soon realizes that this is a bad idea. I can only imagine that it's not too pleasant riding in this perpetual dust all the time. So I try and push further ahead and I quickly check up on the goose. She's still there. And with that, we arrive at the penultimate gate on this road. Now the plan is I get there first, open the gate for Goose and Christo, they go ahead, I wait for Shawnee.
A few moments later.
close the gate, and then I get to catch up with them all over again. I suspect that Christo and Goose are tired of the cheeky blaster's dust. As I get over the crest, I notice that they are way further ahead than what I expected. First I only see Christo in the distance, and then when I look closely I can see Goose trailing behind him. Now this just makes it a little bit more fun. We officially have a race on our hands. My plan is to get past the Goose so I can chase down Christo with that Raptor of his.
But I don't like that plan. I would rather be ahead of the dust-kicking little bastard. I mean blaster. So as soon as I spot Pen, I decide to send it. If he wants to get past, he's gonna have to work for it.
As much as I do want to pass her, I don't want to endanger either of us by being reckless. So I need to bide my time and wait for the correct gap. At this point, it's starting to feel like I'm being thoroughly outclassed. We get to the top of the mountain and I just realize Goose has won the day. So we both tap off at the same time and take the downhills nice and gently. But how fast must Christo have been going? We never even saw him and both of us were going like a bat out of hell. One of those moments where you wished everybody in the crew still had a GoPro on their head. I would have loved to see Christo's run of this section. With the adrenaline still pumping, we catch up to Christo at the next gate.
Yeah, that was fun. Huh?
The GoPro's battery was on 10% when we left the previous gate. My biggest fear is that the battery died and we missed this whole section. But since we're all here watching this video, it's safe to say, we got it.
Dude, jy race is a moment.
And then the last GoPro's battery died. Which doesn't mean the end of the story. Quite a few things still happened after we regrouped at Mount Ingwe. Myself and the Goose swapped our bikes with Shawnee and T and drove with Cherie the rest of the way in the support vehicle. When the riders got onto the tar road to Patlangs, T came off the blaster quite badly, and she says her biggest regret is that she didn't have a GoPro to prove how airborne she got. The scruffy KTM came within 2 kilometers of its final destination before breaking down. If you enjoyed this video and the series, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.